Assalamu alaikum. My name is Brother Sabree. I'm a Muslim. I'm 53 years old. I'm a revert of maybe 30 years now. Life before Islam. My life before Islam it was really interesting, just as it is right now. I'm going to jump back and forth. My mother, she introduced a religion to me when I was 8 years old. She told me, she said, "Hey man, I want you to start praying." I said, "Okay, Mom." She said, "But see, I want you to pray the way I tell you to pray." I said, "Okay." She said, "I want you to pray to God, but don't pray to Jesus." Because, you know, we're here in America. This is a Judeo-Christian society, you know, so everybody's going to church and, you know, along with the Christian pageantry. So she said, "Pray to God, but don't pray to Jesus." I said, "Okay, Mom." So from that point on, that was my understanding of how to pray to God. Me and my father, we didn't talk about religion much. And during the course of this, I'm going to Catholic Sunday school, going to Baptist church, I'm going to the Kingdom Hall with the neighbors across the street. But my understanding is always, I'm praying to God. Never praying to Jesus. Didn't know anything about Islam. But when I got around 17, my father, he was going through some things. He was soul searching. And he had been introduced to Islam. And he told me, at one point, he said, "Son, I think I'm going to become a Muslim." I'm like, okay. I had a lot of respect for my dad. I didn't say it out loud. I'm like, "That's cool. You go ahead and you with that, but I'm straight." Because all along, all along my spirituality had been addressed. So I was cool, as far as I was concerned. I wasn't searching. But in his understanding of Islam and this world and this society, and him having 6 children, he felt, three of us, you got 2 generations in the household. The first 3, me and my 2 sisters, and then the second 3, my 2 sisters and my brother. There was a big generation gap. So with us, he felt like they're getting ready to leave my household, and I don't have them on the deen of Islam. They don't know anything about this. They were raised up here in this stuff. We did Christmas and Easter and all this other stuff just because everybody else was doing it, but we never believed in Santa Claus. My parents made it clear, we're Santa Claus. They made it clear. We knew what was going on. So my father, he would always give us these lectures, and we'd be like, "Oh, Daddy's going to lecture us now." Always giving us these lectures about life and God, who God is, and just trying to enlighten us. But like I said, all along we felt we were okay. My mom had already told us who to pray to, who to acknowledge. Just pray to God alone. Period. But his stories became interesting. And after a while, they stuck with us. We didn't immediately, try to subscribe to what he was talking about because, like his concern, we were getting ready to move out. I moved out. I left home when I was 18. So I left home, went out to California. I don't know if I mentioned, by the way, my profession is I cook for a living. I'm a chef / culinary artist, baker, whatever. That's what I do, and I've always done. So I went out to work has always been easy for me to find. So I went out to California just to visit. I ended up staying out there for a year. Came back home, moved back with my parents for a short while, then left. And I was going through some I was having some challenges, in my life. And I started to reflect on some of the things my father started telling me about religion, and I was already acclimated to Tawheed, worshiping Allah alone. I didn't call on Allah. We just said God, and I didn't know anything about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I just knew we knew about Isa ibn Maryam, but we knew not to worship him at all. Alhamdulillah, life today is great in regards to being aware of who God is And just being aware and knowing what my real purpose is in society, and not being lost, no matter what the societies are doing at whatever era. And so I'm in this era, but I have a clear sense of purpose as a human being, no matter what nation I live in, no matter what my ethnicity is, alhamdulillah, for whatever Allah gave me. I'm in touch. I feel like I'm really in touch with this life. And it's not always easy sometimes knowing the truth, and trying to adhere to the truth. And, we have to be careful. When you know the truth, if I can benefit anybody from this, stay on the truth. Don't jump in and out, because you might jump out and not be able to jump back in. I've had many, many chances, alhamdulillah. I feel I've known the truth for a long time. And now I'm, the older I get, and this is recommended, step up on your ibadah, your worship, be more serious, and I'm trying to do that. So life is it's wonderful because I know who Allah is, and I know what my purpose is, and I don't want to be on anything else but that. The people I work with, my relatives, my siblings, they ask me, what do I do? Because they know, like right now, my family is gone. They're overseas, and I may be joining them soon, inshallah. They say, what do you do? And even my employer, she's always asking me, what do you do? I said, I don't do anything. I come to work. I go to the masjid. I go home. That's it. And I'm satisfied because that's where, I'm not, I'm far from perfect. I'm not a goody two-shoes kind of guy, but alhamdulillah, I love my life. That's what I'm into. And that's what I want to be upon. And I'm glad that my reality is Islam. At one point, I started searching, even though I felt I knew who God was. My mother gave me a spiritual foundation. But I ventured off into Buddhism. But it just didn't gel with me. The different concepts, they just didn't make sense. When I already knew who God was and I felt I had a connection, I didn't have to go. In Islam, you don't go through things and people, And I already had that in my heart. When things really got really hard for me and tough for me, I started reflecting on, some of the life lessons that my father had shared with me, and then what my mother had put me on all along, and it was just elementary for me. And I just took the Shahada. I called my father one day. I told him, I said, I want to take the Shahada. And he and we had some difficulties too. But I let him know. I said, I'm not doing this for you. I'm not trying to please you, but I want to be a Muslim. And it was that simple. It was kind of an easy process for me to step into, because I feel I have been acclimated with that all my life. Now this is my story. What's yours?